My cousin Jake worked emergency surgery at Phoenix General Hospital. In 2019, paramedics brought in a car accident victim, a rancher found unconscious near his overturned truck. Standard procedure until they prepped him for surgery. His appendix was gone, Jake told me over beers. Perfect surgical scar, maybe 2 weeks old. But here's the thing. This guy had no medical records, ever. No insurance, no previous surgeries, nothing. The rancher claimed he'd never had an operation. Jake showed him photos of the scar. The man broke down, describing lost time and strange dreams about bright lights. We ran every test. The surgical technique was flawless, but unlike anything we'd seen. Tissue samples showed exposure to an unknown sterilization compound. Jake quit the hospital 6 months later. He won't tell me why, but he's convinced the patient wasn't the first. My uncle worked at the U.S. Patent Office for 37 years. 2 weeks before retirement, he called me drunk at 2 a.m. They have a floor that doesn't exist, he whispered. Between 7 and 8. The elevator skips it, but I found the stairs. He described seeing patents for technologies decades ahead of anything public. Room temperature superconductors, gravity manipulation, consciousness transfer devices, all stamped acquired, with dates going back to the 1940s. Every breakthrough gets buried. The inventors disappear or die mysteriously. Tesla's real papers, cold fusion that actually works, it's all there. The next morning he died of a heart attack while jogging. Perfectly healthy man, ran marathons. At his funeral, men in identical gray suits sat in the back row taking notes. I tried accessing his employee records. According to the patent office, my uncle never worked there. My grandmother was a midwife from rural Kentucky during the 1960s. She delivered over 200 babies without losing a single mother or child. Impossible odds for home births in that era. She taught me herb lore, claiming certain plants could turn luck around. I thought it was folklore until I researched her delivery records at the county courthouse. Every birth she attended fell on specific lunar phases. Mothers who should have died from complications lived. Breech babies turned overnight. Premature infants survived without medical intervention. The local doctor once accused her of witchcraft during a town meeting. That night, his house burned down. Electrical fire, they said, though the power was out due to a storm. When she died, they found journals filled with charts tracking celestial alignments, plant harvest dates, and detailed birth predictions. She predicted the exact time of her own death, 3 years prior. My dad worked overnight security at a decommissioned Coast Guard station, built in 1943. Abandoned since 1987. His job was simple: walk the perimeter, check for vandals. On foggy nights, he'd hear Morse code tapping from the old radio room. Always the same message: Mayday, vessel taking on water, 20 souls aboard. Dad knew Morse from his Navy days. He researched the message and found records of a fishing vessel that sank in 1952 during a storm. 20 crew members died when their distress call went unanswered. The Coast Guard operator had fallen asleep. The tapping only occurred when fog rolled in from the exact direction of the wreck site. Dad started responding in Morse. Message received. Help dispatched. The tapping stopped for good after that, but on anniversary nights, he swears he sees lights moving across the water, headed safely toward shore. Dr. Sarah Chin ran the only veterinary clinic near the Navajo reservation. She treated everything from cattle to wild mustangs, but nothing prepared her for what happened in October 2018. A rancher brought in a coyote with strange injuries, surgical incisions, implanted devices, human dental work. X-rays showed a partially human skeleton. Sarah called the authorities, but by morning the body had vanished from her locked freezer. Local Navajo wouldn't discuss it, but an elderly man warned her. Some things choose what they want to be. 2 weeks later, Sarah spotted the same coyote walking upright through a parking lot. It looked directly at her through the window, smiled with those human teeth, then dropped to all fours and disappeared. She found muddy footprints the next morning, human prints that gradually shifted to paw prints. They led from her clinic door to the tree line, where they simply ended. I managed a 40-unit apartment complex downtown. Tenant in 4B, Marcus, never caused problems. Quiet, paid rent early, worked nights. Perfect renter except for one thing. He never generated any garbage. Every Thursday I'd notice his bin was empty while everyone else's overflowed. No food waste, no packaging, nothing. I thought maybe he composted or recycled elsewhere. Then Mrs. Garcia in 4A mentioned hearing strange sounds, dragging, muffled voices, power tools at 3 a.m. The walls were thin. She was probably hearing things. Marcus moved out suddenly, leaving the apartment spotless, too spotless. I found fresh concrete patches in the bathroom floor, industrial-grade drain cleaner residue, and a freezer that had been bleached repeatedly. The police found 3 missing persons reports matching Marcus's previous addresses. Different names, same pattern, quiet tenant, early rent, sudden departure. He'd been using our basement storage unit too. We never opened it.